2, 1.
Good evening, everyone, and I'd like to call to order the September 4th, 2025 business meeting of the Fulton Harmon Union Free School District. Item 1.2, the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Foreign and unborn.
Moving into item 1.3, approval of the agenda, recommended action. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Moving into item 2.1, the president's report. I want to take a moment to welcome our new faculty at the beginning of the school year on behalf of the board. I was unable to attend the new teacher luncheon on August 25th. Trustees Nagar and Haber were there in attendance, and I know our welcome was conveyed. So again, welcome. Go Tigers. I was grateful for the invitation to speak to the entire staff at the opening of Superintendent's Day, where everyone is welcome back to our buildings. It was a wonderful breakfast and a newly renovated gym at CHUFSD, and another opportunity to start the school year with the right focus on students and gratitude to everyone in the CHUFSD community for what you do. So thank you for that. As a board, we are continuing to do our own committee work. We will start meeting with PTAs, the boosters, and other community groups to hear what is important to you, what you are working on, and how we can find overlaps for collaboration. As you hopefully know, the district launched their committee framework for the year and sent out communication soliciting community involvement. We will soon expand our work into service on those committees. We're also working on our communication strategy, board goals, and trying to make it to as many beginning of the year events as possible. We hope to see some of you at the back to school nights. Please check the CHUFSD website for your school, date and time. Please also join us on Spencer Field next Wednesday for a ribbon cutting ceremony to inaugurate our new field. Details are also again on the CHUFSD website. And please keep an eye out for all of our homecoming events and details for advance tickets for the homecoming dance on September 20th. We plan to resume our Meet the BOE sessions before our regular meetings, but as is always the case, please reach out to the board via our email at boe@chufsd.org. That email sends your email directly into the inbox of each trustee, and I know we all read them and value community engagement. So looking forward, we will have our first retreat of the year. We'll have to get that date on the books. We're going to focus on district goals and take in this wonderful time of year as we watch the completion of our future facilities plan, the exciting new work we develop alongside our goals and the district, and consistently focus on making our schools the best possible place for our students. That's my budget report. Moving into item 2.2, hearing of the public. So if you'd like to be heard, you're given 3 minutes. Please state your name and address at the podium.
My name is Ed Riley, Ed Riley. I'd like to welcome the board and the students and the administrators back to the school year. It's always so scary, and it's also like a new slate. Everything starts anew, your supplies are new, things on the students in your classroom. It's exciting. It's nice to see the superintendent, Mr. Kennedy, and the president of the board on television this thing. That was good news. I'd like to talk to you about things that are not addressed here. In the secret meeting that this board had with the gay community, late April, probably, it was down with Black Cow, which is an inappropriate place to have a meeting. It was one of 3 meetings that this board has either sponsored or attended, as a full board with the gay, so-called transgender community. In that process, I heard the name Planned Parenthood, which is one of the most evil, notorious organizations in the United States. I could start off by discussing the baby parts, including lives or the children, but I won't do that. I think it was mentioned because Planned Parenthood provides so-called transgender services and refers for surgery, some very bad things. And I would like to pursue the relationship with this board and Planned Parenthood on that matter. And of course, when you come to the library, you have to pass the assorted flags and so forth of that movement. I hope that students and teachers take out that liberty that this librarian has and bring their symbols to school, whether it be a crucifix, a Star of David, a Madonna, an Indian god, whatever it is. I hope they take the initiative to do what gay and transgender families, parents, etc. have done, is to dominate the symbol area. But along those lines, I'd like to bring your attention what happens. If you want to see what bad happens in school, always look to 2 counties, Fairfax County and Loudoun County, Virginia, 2 of the richest counties in the entire United States. In the Fairfax County School District, the school district I know a lot about. I believe it's Centerville High School. They own many high schools. It's a county school district, probably has 1.25 million people in that county, most populous county in Virginia. The principal and a teacher or counselor systematically refer girls for abortion without the knowledge or consent of their parents, which falls right in line with what Loudoun does, which is transitions children or steers them in that direction without knowledge of it. Thank you.
Hello, Leslie Pollock. I was just curious, now that the village has endorsed the definition of IRA, if the school district will be considering either endorsing that definition or coming up with your own, and if you are coming up with your own, I'm wondering what the process is gonna be to include people to design it. There are rumors starting that someone in the community is already speaking with members of the administration who doesn't really have any credentials, so I'm just curious as to how that's gonna work. And actually requesting a response. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah Reed. I'm in Croton. That's in 118 Old West Road North. I'm a parent of 2 kids. I'm very discouraged by the cell phone policy that we have put in place. And I really want to understand what evidence-based practices were put into place in order to make these decisions. So I'd like a response on that.
That will conclude our first family of topic, moving into item 2.3, the superintendent's report. Turn it over to the superintendent.
Thank you, Anna. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back, Tigers, to the 25-26 school year. I was thinking about this. I think, for all of us who are in education, we forget sometimes that folks who don't do the work that we do don't maybe get the chance to experience what it feels like to feel the potential and the energy and the excitement of the start of something, like the start of a school year. Whether it's the start of a sports season, perhaps, or the opening of a show on Broadway. That feeling of potential, of intrigue, or excitement about what's about to happen. All of those emotions for all of us every year are part of opening school. But I think this year in particular, because of all of the exciting things happening, I look forward to hearing Bill's perspective from the student. angle on this, but it's been a terrific and smooth opening of schools for by any year standard. But when you consider the amount of particularly facilities work and other changes that have occurred in the district over the past weeks and months, it's been a remarkably excellent opening by all measures. And so I'm thrilled to be able to report that. I wanted to start by flashing back to last week. It's been an incredibly busy couple of weeks. These are, for me, some of the best couple of weeks of the year. Beginning last Monday is honor reference welcoming our new Tiger faculty, spanning all buildings, all ranges of experience, of interest, of passion. We've had a chance to see every single one of these faculty members engaged with our students over the first 3 days, and all are already rolling up their sleeves and being a part of the collaboration and the excitement and the passion that it means to be a part of the faculty here. So we're thrilled to welcome all of them to this amazing team here in our district. On Tuesday of last week, we then spent the day with our teacher leaders, curriculum coordinators, and instructional coaches as an entire administrative team and teacher leadership team, discussing the work of the vision map and how we envision that rolling out this year, and how we can best continue to position all of these amazing members of the faculty as leaders among their colleagues and moving forward with this work. So that's always an inspirational day and kind of gets us ready for what happens the next morning, which is on a reference is that opportunity to have hundreds and hundreds of members of this team together in the same space at the same time. And aside from the first day of school, there really is no feeling like that for me, and the energy that you get from having that much talent and excitement in one place at one time. It's an honor and a privilege to get a chance to address that group and to hopefully launch us into what is going to be a special school year. And then, of course, Tuesday of this week is when the magic happens, right? That's when the schools of this community do this really special thing and open our doors and say to the families of every young person in this community, your child's going to be welcomed here, challenged here, embraced here, and helped to grow in these schools. It was a remarkable first day. Very, very few tears from the students, certainly always more tears from the parents, particularly at CET. But it's a beautiful thing to get a chance to watch kids walk through the doors of our schools, whether it's for their senior year or for the very first time. And I think in particular this year, because of some of the changes in the facilities, particularly, I know among the administrative team, we said, there are certain places we wanted to be first thing, just to get a chance to see our kids' response to some of the new spaces and the new experiences that go along with them. So that was, again, one of those days where you don't have to pay me to do this job. It was that much fun. Want to make brief reference to the cell phone and internet enabled devices legislation and the associated policy and kind of how we're looking at that over the first, very short period of time, first 3 days. But I did have a chance to attend both the building wide assembly here at CHHS and the one at PVC. And I have to say, there won't be any surprise to the board or to the community. The way that the building administrators address that with the entire student body reflects the care and the thoughtfulness that this community has come to know and expect from the leaders in the buildings. I've spoken to countless teachers, been in countless classrooms, spoken to students, spoken to CTA leadership. After 3 days, again, granted a very small sample size, the approach is having exactly the effect that we wanted it to have. Right? The kids feel as though there's trust being placed in them, and they're responding as we want them to be. I was saying to Hannah earlier, it was beautiful to see that building-wide assembly at the high school on the first morning of the first day, 500 students, no one's looking down at their phone. Right? Everyone's engaged in the message that's being provided to them. And that's what you're seeing across the building, and across PVC and CET as well. So certainly as the fall continues and into the winter, we'll be evaluating this further in numerous ways. We'll be getting feedback from our parents, from students, from faculty. And if there need to be changes, we'll recommend those to the board. And I'm happy to report after 3 days, we're in good shape. Obviously, one of the other incredible and exciting things has been the students' response to the changes in the facilities. I want to just thank again the entire facilities team, everyone involved in this project. We sat in this room 2 weeks ago, and we had some question about our readiness in some of these spaces for students on September 2nd. The team has responded amazingly. I'm sure Phil will share the student perspective on, particularly here at the high school, how some of those spaces are being responded to by the kids. But I did want to share just one anecdote about the cafeteria here. Community lunch on the first day was something I wanted to make sure I saw. And just to see the student response to the cafeteria, to that entire experience. That's the first time in my educational career I've been that invested in the cafeteria space of a school. So I walked in with three, I think they were juniors, three young ladies, and so we walked into the older section of the cafeteria, which has been renovated, but not substantially different from the entirety of the new space. And the three of them were talking to each other. And I said to them, so, how's the day going? They said, well, we're here, we've heard a lot about the cafeteria, right? So we walk in, and the first young lady says to the other two, after looking at the older part of the space, wow, it's overhyped, and this isn't that big a deal. We then turn the corner to see the entirety of the new space, and she said, no, never mind, this is actually that good. So that was a nice kind of impromptu moment of feedback from our kids. Greg had the chance to, we all did on the first day, visit the Innovative Learning Center here. Took some video, shared that with us. I had a chance to share it with some members of the administrative team, and wanted to share this with you just as a board and the public. This is within the first hour and a half of the first day in the Innovative Learning Center at the high school. Remember, it used to be the old dorm. Just a quick shot of how the ILC is working.
The thing is that we're on a 5-day rotation, so Monday is always Monday. Or one. So it allows Monday after freshman year if you want to better concentration. One way that you can
So Greg, I want to say thank you for capturing that. What I see in that, particularly within the first 90 minutes of the first day, is potential. Right? You have 6 amazing faculty members there, countless students, and a space that's going to allow for some really special collaborative and interdisciplinary learning experiences to happen. So we'll certainly be sharing a lot more information about kind of how the student experience in the Innovative Learning Center is unfolding. But after the first 3 days, it's been really special to see. Additionally, Brad took some, over the course of the past months, some time-lapse photography of the development of Spencer Field and shared that with us the other day. So I thought it'd be worth taking a quick look at that. I think he said it was some music. Brad's investment in this. Pretty neat. So I had a chance to speak to one of our coaches last week as practices were getting underway in earnest, and he said, it feels to me like I'm at an away stadium. It's an entirely different experience. Obviously, we hosted our first home games this week before the ribbon cutting next week. So it's been, again, just spectacular to watch, not only the student reaction, but you have a lot of community members who walk the area around Spencer on a regular basis, retired folks and others, and to get a chance to interact with them during the summer as they watch this come together has been made for some pretty nice moments as well. So thank you for everybody who's been involved in the facilities project from the beginning, and wanted to just take one more opportunity to thank, and we gave a standing ovation to this team on Wednesday morning of last week, Brad and the facilities group there. We say this all the time, it is true, there is nobody better. Their level of commitment to these buildings Saturdays, Sundays, to make sure that our buildings were ready for Tuesday morning. I've said it to all of them personally, but I'll say it in this setting as well. I hope they feel proud, because we certainly do. So, thank you to everybody. Welcome back. Looking forward to a great year. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Superintendent Walker. We'll move on to item 2.4, our student ex officio report. Meeting
So there's obviously been a lot of new changes. I'm sorry for my voice, I'm losing it. But there's obviously been a lot of new changes around the school. Things like the ILC and the new cafeteria, and I can say myself, me and my friends were big buddies, so we kind of got a sneak peek before everyone else. And I remember like walking in, and my friends were like, you have to come look at the new cafeteria. And I was like, all right, all right. And then I walked into the first part and I was like, it kind of looks like pretty similar. And I walked in the second part, man, that was ridiculous. It looks amazing. And that seems to be the general consensus from everyone, considering that it's literally so crowded during every single period. I mean, I went in there for my free period today and everyone else had the same idea, like it's just awesome. And you don't even see anyone in the rotunda anymore, which used to be like where everyone was, but everyone's here now just because I think it looks so amazing. I personally don't have any classes in the ILC, but I've heard a lot of positive things about it. The only thing I have heard that was like a setback was that people were just saying it's like pretty loud from like all the classes going on, but I think that's just something everyone's gonna get used to. It's just, people get used to it as it goes along. But I remember everyone walking into the ILC and saying like, oh, I feel like I'm on like a college campus right now, or like in like Greeley, like people saying like it's just so crazy. And as for the new field, I myself play field hockey in the fall and lacrosse in the spring. So I'm really excited and the field's been amazing. And I think all the other teams have been saying the same thing. And I feel very prideful almost to have it, and like having the homecoming week down there, I'm super excited about that. So yeah, and I think students are looking forward to the homecoming week a lot, and specifically to the homecoming dance, which I've heard all grades are really excited about, which is awesome. Me and one of my friends actually like were talking about like getting one going like a couple of years back, and so just to see it actually happening is so awesome. So I'm really excited to that, and it's just another good thing to look forward to. And so yeah, I think actually people were worried about the new schedule a lot last year, just because it's so different. And oh, school's ending 20 minutes later, and no more helping period at the end of the day. But I think it's actually been utilized pretty well from what I've seen so far. Like we had a lot of clubs meet on Wednesday and Thursday. Me and my friend personally were part of Chinese club, which met on Wednesday, and it was great, and it was nice to see everyone there. And I think people are saying like it's really not like bad at all, and I think everyone's just like scared of the change. But now it's actually here, it's actually pretty cool. And even if you don't have something to go to, like I didn't have any club on Thursday, I was using it as a study period, so it was pretty great. The phone ban, it's not that bad at all. I think people are kind of getting that we still can have it during our free periods and like during our lunch period while we're off campus. So I think people are, like I think everyone was just so worried about getting like locked away for like 12 hours, and everyone just realized that's just not the case at all, and it's pretty relaxed, and it's nice honestly to not have it in class. I feel like I'm actually completely zoned in on what I'm learning in my work, and I think a lot of students probably have the same mindset, or they'll start admitting that later on once they're not too upset about it anymore. Um, for senior stuff, we had the portraits coming into school. Those went well for everyone, as I've heard, and those were the first round, so everyone's excited. We also had our fall athletic poster portraits today, so those also went really well. Everyone's all excited to be down there. And we're actually having our senior sunrise tomorrow, where we all get together and watch the sunrise together. So, everyone's really excited about that kind of stuff. I'd end by doing my SFC report, but we haven't met yet. We're meeting on the next Tiger Tuesday, which I'm also very excited about. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on for student life around here. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Moving into item 3.1, instructional personnel recommendation. Recommended action, be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the appointments of Patricia Mulberry Lynch and Suzanne Lewis, tutors/home instructors at the rate of $60 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Moving into our consent agenda, item 4.1, approval of the consent agenda, recommended action, be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby approves all the items under the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. We will now move into the closing of the meeting. Item 5.1 is our second hearing of the public. Again, members of the public are given 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address. And we approach the podium.
Hi, I'm Tony Uziak. I have a, gosh, I don't remember my 7th grade. Grader, so it's been a very long day, long commute. I actually not getting up to talk about myself, okay, because I feel like I've emailed enough about that, but I did want to ask about the changes to the CHUFSD playground. My understanding from talking to a handful of people, which correct me if I'm wrong, is that we actually ran out of money in the budget, and that's why we ended up with the playground that we did, and I'm wondering why this information wasn't given to the community, because we have PTA funds we could have used. And I would have happily gotten involved in like some kind of fundraising activity to raise more money to have a better playground for, you know, what basically kind of looks like for something for 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds or 6 to 10-year-olds. So I'm just making that statement, I guess. Next time could we involve community more?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Christian Bruno. I want to say that as a compliment, that I don't know any school board in the United States that has worked so hard and then inspected the work to provide a beautiful environment for learning. And most of it's come to fruition around now. It's what's going to go on inside these walls that really counts. Because we know you can learn in a one-room schoolhouse. We know that. But you have certainly provided everything possible for the students of this district in terms of physical environment. So it's the atmosphere of the school, the spirit of free speech in the school, and non-promotion of indoctrination in the school that I'm most worried about. One of the things I'd like to bring to your attention is I used to do this religiously. I would follow all the children, unborn children killed and disposed of in the United States, including 4 that were deposited in sewers of Westchester County. Those abused and left after abortionists lost their job. Women killed. I'd like to bring your attention to a case in Lexington, Kentucky. In this case, it was a college student, but in one of these cases, it's a junior or senior in high school. What the federal government and the previous administration has done is flooded the market of the United States with a terrible drug called RU-46. It's really a combination of drugs that have been banned in many countries, but because of the abortion lobby, it's been brought to the United States. Underrepresented number of injuries. Recently, in the last 6 months, we know that the injury rate is at 11%. A serious hemorrhaging, etc. And now it's being flooded through drugstores like CVS, which we have a boycott against CVS, Walgreens, because their executives are avidly promoting this in conjunction with the government. Because of the easy access to those pills, boys, men giving the pills to women, parents forcing them on children, etc. And the result is, within the last 3 months, we had 2 cases of children being born and drowned in toilet bowls. And in this case in Kentucky, it was a case of a live birth. The child died, stuffed into a garbage bag, thrown in the closet so the girl could go to cheerleading practice. I believe this treatment of human life is a direct result of the perverted environmentalism we have taught in our schools about population. Thank you.
there's no one else. We'll close our second hearing of the public and we will move into items 5.2 board reports. We can start with advocacy.
Advocacy has not met, since, we last gave an update, but our next meeting will be on, September 11th. Where we will be reviewing the, NISBA proposed resolutions. So that we can bring them to the full board with our recommendations at the following. Okay.
Audit,
Yep, audit is meeting on October 9th. We'll be reviewing the audit financial statements and the risk assessment, and we'll be bringing that to the board on that day as well for approval.
board development,
We also have not met since the last time we gave this report, but we have been working on some stuff. So if you take a look at your in development board resources folder, you'll find that Sarah has added some new material there. We're trying to keep our calendar up to date so that everyone sort of has a view to what the events are this fall. There are quite a few of them, and helping us ensure that we have board representation at each of these. Thank you to everyone for getting your bios in and for being on time for photos today also. So those updates will go on to the website shortly. Stand by, I know we said this last week, but for real this time, stand by for a date for our first fall board retreat. Working on it by that.
Right, back to me. We haven't met, the communications has not met since our last, since the 21st, which I gave a report then. Our next meeting will be on October 8th.
we did successfully complete the assignment of the back to school minutes.
Correct, yes, so we have those fully covered, which is great, and I'll get back in touch with the committee with regard to when we had multiple people sign up for this date, so I'll get back to everybody on that, but we are all good.
Great. How?
Well, policy has not met since the 19th of August. We will be meeting on 16th of September. Did some work today on the agenda for that meeting. And it is my expectation that there will be some policies that will be reported out by the committee, which can be for first reading either at the September work session or at the October business meeting. There are several different issues and concerns, and there's a lot of backlog that we're working through.
Thank you. Moving into item 5.3, polling of the board.
I had a brief item for polling, in just that, you will have all seen in your email today an email from LHEC with our legislative advocacy priority survey. If I could please ask each of you to take a look at that survey, fill out that survey and get back. It's very important. It's a really important part of the steering committee's work in determining what our advocacy priorities should be for the coming year. So I appreciate you taking time to answer.
Go ahead.
I have, I guess, a number of items. First is that I will not be attending the ribbon cutting on September 10th, because that is the night of the regionalization meeting that will be held at PNW BOCES, headed by the district superintendent, at which there'll be further work on refining the policy priorities for regionalization and sharing of resources and programs between and among districts. So I will be there representing, wearing two hats, and I will report back to the board. We received, perhaps some of us, maybe all of us, a communication from our external auditors that they will be holding a webinar later this month on the subject of GASB 103, which is a new requirement for reporting relating to our audit, which will go into effect next September. At our audit meeting with our external auditor in, I guess, it was in August or in July, we were told that this was coming down the road. If I'm able, I will attend that to kind of do some learning about that. I know, we'll hear more about it, both from our auditors and from other sources. The NISBA convention information and the different programs and schedule has been posted on the NISBA convention website. I can take a look at it. I have not yet figured out what I might want to go to, but I would suggest that those who are planning to attend the convention might want to take a look so that as we get closer, we can decide which different events or programs or educational offerings we will be attending. I will be attending the pre-convention law conference. I will report to the board what we learn at law conference, as well as I always do, will download all presentations, whether we go to them or not. And I will, if they relate to something particular with regard to administration, board governance, that it might be worth considering, I will have them for people to see, or I will send them over to whomever. I also note that this year, what NISBA has said is that they will provide the opportunity for those who cannot attend in person. And it starts Thursday afternoon, the law conference is Thursday morning, and goes to Saturday midday. But those who are unable to attend, there will be a way to attend virtually in some manner. And so those who can't fit it in their schedule, to go there, might want to see what they might be able to get, or maybe they'll provide some things for, if it's not live stream, but things that people can see thereafter. One other thing about that, one other thing that I just wanted to mention is that it goes back to BOCES, is that just so that everyone knows, one of the things that BOCES is been working on, as a member of the BOCES board and also as the liaison to our district, I should let you know, it's been working on a number of facilities improvements and facilities new programming that will be rolled out in the coming months. One thing you should know about is that 15 acres of BOCES campus is going to be devoted to the establishment of a solar farm, which will be done through BOCES energy performance contract. And while there are some legal glitches that have come up, I believe they will be resolved, so that will be, the work will be started by the end of the year. What that will provide is a return to BOCES, which will help to lower the amount of the administrative budget for which we are responsible. Each component district is responsible. The Science 21 program has moved into new warehouse space in Mount Kisco, which frees up space on the BOCES campus for new classrooms and new, in the special ed realm, and also expanded programs in career and technical education. So as time goes on, you'll be hearing about that. And one of the things we're talking about on the BOCES board is more outreach to component board and component board members to let people on boards know exactly all the things that are going on so that they understand, A, where their money goes and what opportunities are available for the students of our communities. So with that, that is just what I've got.
Thank you. Hopefully I did this right. I just wanted to add, in case I got a little lost in your report, with the committees that there's an invitation for the community to get involved with the committees. That the application deadline is September 14th, I believe. And I just want to find, do you have a sense of when people will find out about whether or not they will be on the committee? Or what the time frame is?
Probably within a week or so after the 14th.
Oh, that's great, that's fast, sure. Thank you, and then, I know that it's been incredibly busy with all like special projects and the new like cell phone policy, but, I just like to build on that, I think that, we've gotten such a tremendous response from the community that, it would be really, like, I think helpful for families whose kids are not in a school to be able to visualize like what's happening in the school. So like one of the things that's great is you walk through here, you can see one of those phone boxes that are there. So just looking forward, I think if the community wants to understand what's happening with the policies, like getting a little bit of sense of what it looks like, the experience might be helpful to just understand what's happening on a little bit more detailed level. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, so I know Neil actually secretly would like to also join board development. And so two of the things that we're doing, Neil, in terms of getting ready for NISBA, you're a little bit ahead of me, but I appreciate the prompt. Is we are gonna put together just a calendar so that we can sort of decide who, or at least share who's planning to go to what. I remember last time we weren't all able to go to all the things we wanted because some of the sessions were very oversubscribed. But I think that will help us get covered. So we'll stick that into a shared document so we can compare and contrast. And then I'm hoping, Neil, because you are actually so great at collecting all the stuff, rather than having us ask you for it, maybe we could just create a depository for it so that we can have access to it all year. If I can set that up for you to dump some of those files in, and I will dump some files in it as well. I think that will help us stay organized.
I will just to respond, probably have files going back
I know.
8 years. You set it up.
You'll make
put
it
in.
happen. All
I'll
right,
make it.
well, we can create a library because
Yeah.
that's also sort of fun. Yeah, so that's on the agenda. I didn't want to steal your thunder in case you were gonna talk about some of the upcoming Westpet stuff, but I know.
Yes, I didn't realize that.
So, yeah,
But
over to you to do that.
yes, we do have the upcoming roundtables, and actually prior to the roundtables will be a student ex officio meeting. So they'll be doing some training and stuff. I think Philomena, you're planning to attend that. And I know lots of other student ex officio members in the area will be attending that as well. And then the students are welcome to stay following that for the roundtables and dinner, which will be held down at the Southern Westchester BOCES. It's a really great opportunity for us to meet with our other colleagues in districts around the region and talk about issues that we are seeing and issues that are important to our region and to public education in general. So it's a really great opportunity, and I would encourage as many of us as possible to be able to attend that if we can. Neil, you're already signed up.
Yeah, well, I'm signed up.
For both.
No, but I have a conflict.
Yeah.
Which I will not
I'm
do.
signed.
Yes.
So
Yep.
now I'm just signed up, and I guess for me it is, I wish I could be there,
Yes,
but.
it is.
Can't be there this time.
It was the
15th, 6:30 at
Southern Westchester BOCES.
Grasslands Road,
I'm taking you off, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Grasslands
Delete.
Road on.
Piggyback onto the Westpet stuff, and I are also going to be attending the board officer orientation on Monday, September 8th.
Yes, you are correct.
High school library. So we look forward to connecting with other board leadership teams throughout the region. And I mean, I do have to tip my hat to how nice some of the presentations are, just how collegial they are in terms of sharing experiences.
And Karen and Stacy do a really great job of putting together programming for everyone and putting together programming that's gonna be useful and productive for our region and for our board and superintendent colleagues.
Yeah, definitely. Look at that too.
No, that was really it.
And thank you for that reminder, because yeah, as soon as I finished, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
We move into items 5.4, items needed for the next Board of Education meeting. So the next Board of Education meeting will be on Thursday, September 18th, 2025, in this room. We look forward to a work session, details of which are to follow. Oh, or we do it now. Go ahead.
As we did last year, we invited the building leaders to come and share their thinking around building level goals for the year related to the vision map. So the entire administrative team will be there that evening to share building goals, and I'll be sharing the superintendent's goals as well. So I look forward to a good discussion.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. That's great in terms of the timeline for the board to develop their goals and less than what the district's doing. So moving into item 5.5. Adjournment of the meeting, recommended action be it resolved, the Board of Education hereby adjourns the meeting at 8:17 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.